Have you been building a business using social media specifically, and you have a teeny tiny or non-existent audience, but you have aspirations of really high income goals? Well, if you do, today is the perfect episode for you. Today, we're going to dive deep into how to use minimalistic marketing and messaging that is super, super simple that will allow you to speak directly to the people who are ready to buy so that you're not having to build a massive audience full of tire kickers or looky-loos. And you are talking directly to the people who are ready to take action on exactly what you offer so that you can boost your profits, even if you have a teeny tiny audience. So let's do this.
Striving for a business breakthrough? Shortcut your learning curve to success with the right training, coaching, and support. Welcome to the Impactful Entrepreneurs Show with Adrienne Hill, a show for coaches, course creators, and network and affiliate marketers striving to earn six figures by leveraging social media without being slaves to their businesses. From an overworked hustler to an impactful entrepreneur, your journey starts here on the Impactful Entrepreneurs Show.
Today, I'm here with Ellen Yin. I'm very excited. She is the founder of Cubicle to CEO, and she's an expert in all things marketing minimalism. So I can't wait to dig into what that means, because who couldn't go for something a little bit simpler? Am I right? Yes. So welcome, Ellen.
Hi, Adrienne. Thank you so much for having me. A very sweet intro. And yes, I'm totally with you. Simplicity is really key in business and in life.
Yes, absolutely. So for the viewers who maybe have not met you yet or who don't know you yet, could you tell us a little bit about your story and what brings you here with us today?
Absolutely. So, hi guys, my name is Ellen Yin. I'm so excited to be here. And what physically brought me to this actual summit interview, Adrienne and I were just chatting, is we have a mutual friend in common, which I think is so awesome that that's how we discovered each other, because I really, really do believe that it illuminates this bigger idea that at the end of the day, business is all about relationships. And I really believe that sales at its core is really about relationships and communication. And even when I'm thinking about a sales journey or sales process, I don't call it a sales funnel, I call it a relationship funnel. And so
I love that.
Thank you. So I think there's a lot of, things there that I'm really just excited to share about. But in regards to my own story of, being a business owner and whatnot, I am what I would consider an accidental entrepreneur. I'm sure a lot of you guys can relate to that. I did not set out, I did not have this big grand plan that I was going to start my own business. I actually left my corporate job without any backup plans. So my idea was, I was going to keep applying for jobs. And during that first month out of work, ironically, it was an old coworker at the job I had just left who reached out to me and said, "Hey, we heard that you are good at Instagram, and we own these two local coffee businesses. We'd love your help getting our social media presence off the ground. Can you help us?" And it was like a $300 project, and I was so excited. And I was like, "Yeah, let's do this. This will be so much fun." I just jumped right in. And I think throughout that process of that first month working with that very first client, I realized, hey, if I can do this once, I can do it again and again and again. And so from there, I kind of just let it grow naturally. And 3 years later, here I am. So still doing it.
I love that. And yeah, I do feel like most people are somewhat accidental in how they fall into this, right? So very interesting. So, okay. Now I know one of the areas that you specialize in is in attracting clients to you. So, And obviously that's how you got started, right? They just kind of came to you. So what's the key to attracting clients rather than having to go and chase them down?
It's all about messaging. I really believe that 90% of people's sales problems comes down to a breakdown in their messaging. Even things like sales objections break down in messaging. A lot of sales is psychology. It's just human behavior, right? It's no different than you deciding what show you're going to watch on Netflix or where you're going to go out to eat with your friends. And I really believe that if you want to adopt an attraction model, you have to be able to understand your people inside and out, and they need to feel like you are in their head when they are reading your content. And so that is what attracts them to you. That's what makes them go, oh, she understands me. Because even more so than wanting a solution to whatever their problem is, people first and foremost want to feel seen and understood, right? And so messaging is a huge, huge piece of making sure that you're actually attracting people to you and not just trying to chase people down.
Sure. Okay. Yeah, that totally makes sense. So I know there could be some viewers who they've put in the hard work, right, to build that foundation, to understand who their audience is and how to speak to them. Then they've got it dialed, but maybe they just have a teeny tiny audience, or they're starting from zero. Like, what's the best way to make sales if you don't have a large audience, if you are starting from ground zero?
I love this question because I really, really believe that you do not need a large audience in order to have a profitable business. In fact, I've done things, pretty much everything in my business, like not the way that most gurus would prescribe. I hate that whole concept. I'm like, oh, we're just regular business owners. Why do we have to call each other gurus? That's so, I don't know. It's a thing for me. But I think that it doesn't matter how large your audience is if they are not an audience of problem aware people. So let me try to break this down in an analogy for you guys. So the analogy I always use is, let's pretend that you are hosting a garage sale, right? You're just cleaning out your house, you're doing a garage sale. The best buyers, the people who are going to be your best customers, the easiest to convert, the ones who are attracted to you, are those hardcore thrifters who, the night before they looked up your listing on Craigslist or Facebook, they jotted down all of the homes they were going to hit up. They mapped out which way is the best way to go. And they show up bright and early, maybe 5 minutes even before you technically open, to start shopping. Those people are both problem and solution aware, because the problem they have is, I want to find a great deal. And the solution aware piece is that they believe that your garage sale is where they're going to find that. So they're coming to you because they believe you have the answer. Now, the second type of person who shows up to your garage sale is problem aware, but they may not be solution aware. Meaning, let's say someone's just driving around and they pass your sign, a garage sale sign pointing into your neighborhood, and they go, oh, awesome. I actually am looking for, a coffee table, and I would love to find a great deal. I don't want to buy it new. And now you're placing your solution in front of their face, and they didn't wake up that morning going, oh, I'm going to go to this person's garage sale. But now that it's in front of their face, they're like, oh, well, might as well stop by. So that's a person who is problem aware, but not solution aware, but still a great buyer and easy to convert because they have the problem that you can actually solve for them. Mm-hmm. Now, the third type of person in this analogy is someone who is neither of those things. So these are the people who, they didn't see your sign, they didn't look up your house, they literally are just driving down the street, happen to pass by your house, they see a bunch of people standing in your driveway, have no idea why they're there, don't know what it's about, aren't looking for a good deal, and they're just curious. They're like, oh, what's this crowd of people doing? I'm gonna get out of my car and check it out. Those people are going to be the ones most likely to leave your sale empty-handed because they do not have the problem that your garage sale solves for them. And they don't think necessarily that you are the solution that they're looking for. So all of this to say, instead of focusing on trying to build a large audience, instead, I want you to think about, how can I get in front of problem-aware people by finding them in the communities where they already exist. So I don't have to waste months and years of my own time building up this large list or this large community to sell to, when in fact, I can just go find existing traffic and stand in front of it.
That makes so much sense. That analogy is super helpful. I love that.
Thank you. I'm glad it helped.
So find them where they already are.
Yes.
Interesting. And I'm sure that's different for every niche that someone might be running a business in. Chances are, my guess is there's probably a group out there full of people somewhere, right? Whether it's and on social, it's probably like a Facebook group or a LinkedIn group or a networking group, right? Okay. Interesting.
Exactly. You just want to think about, where do your people already naturally congregate? What websites do they shop? What people do they follow? What hashtags are they searching? What groups are they part of? Where are these people who have the problem that you provide a service or a product that, meets them where they need? Where are they already hanging out online, and how can you go find them in those traffic sources that have already been built for you?
Right. I love it. Yeah, because you don't have to create the group. You just have to find it.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So for those of you who have been trying to create this massive audience, you don't have to. You just go find it somewhere else. It already exists.
Yeah. And
I love it.
I'm not saying that there's something wrong with building an audience. Obviously, community and building a community is great for the longevity of your brand and your business. And I absolutely advocate for that. I think where people go wrong is they believe that that's the only way to bring in cash flow, right? They're like, I first have to do this in order to sign my first client, when in reality, that's a slow growth strategy. And so why don't we instead get instant cash flow into your business, and over time, you can build your audience, right? Which will serve your business, but you don't have to wait to do that in order to get your first client or customer through the door.
That's great. So speaking of instant cash flow, what are some immediate action steps or tips that our viewers could take right now, like at the end of this interview, in order to boost their leads and sales on social?
Well, part of it would obviously depend on what platform you're using. I think one of the best ways to boost visibility on Instagram, which is my favorite platform, is through using hashtags. And so I have an entire system called hashtag hacks that I've developed to help specifically business owners and service providers with small audiences be able to leverage hashtags to get in front of thousands of new eyeballs every single week, people who are already searching for the content that they are creating, the content they're posting about. So again, getting in front of problem aware people. So I think about, I'm thinking about like, what are some natural visibility strategies that you can use? But I think the bigger thing, honestly, in terms of instant cash flow, is you want to take the most efficient path to get there. And where I see a lot of people struggle is they have shiny object syndrome, and they feel like they're trying to do all the things all the time to market their business. And in reality, I kind of go against the grain of what a lot of people teach sometimes, not because I'm purposely trying to be a rebel or anything, but but just this idea that, marketing does not have to be so complicated. You can create the simplest sales funnel. And when I say funnel, I don't even mean like, go build out like a funnel on a platform like ClickFunnels or Kartra or Kajabi or whatever. I just literally mean, what is the process that someone takes to go from stranger to paying client or customer? What steps do they have to take? And how do you lead them down that path in the quickest way possible? And for me, I personally believe that instead of hyper focusing on, let's say, creating new content every single day, planning out your perfect Instagram grid and making sure you post 7 days a week at 10 a.m. Pacific time, because that's what your insights told you, right? Instead of focusing on such surface level things, let's instead get really, really clear on messaging that is rooted in sales psychology, and creating a couple quality pieces that basically help people overcome their objections before they ever talk to you. And then let's focus all of our limited time as business owners when we market to just drive traffic to that existing content. So instead of focusing all your time on creating new content from scratch, let's create some quality evergreen content that you can consistently drive new traffic to. And then that content is going to help pull its weight and help sell for you.
Oh yeah. And I would imagine if it's resonating with people, and the minute they read it, they're going, yes, it's like she's in my head, they're going to be more likely to like, share, comment, interact. And that's going to boost it even more, right? So
totally. And I really think even beyond engagement, it's really about driving them to the next step to give you their information to actually become a lead. And you need a lead capture mechanism. And, for service providers, I typically suggest that to get someone as a lead, you have them fill out a client application form, and then that leads to, a connection call or whatever it may be to close the deal. But it may be different. Like if you are a course creator, perhaps your lead or sales system is based around a long form sales page or a webinar, but just being clear about how do I create a system that's repeatable so that I am not trying to sign every single client or every single customer in a brand new way, but instead driving all my traffic to one sales machine that, closes people for me on repeat day in, day out.
Right. Because if you're limiting yourself to what you can physically do all by yourself manually, it's so hard. It's so hard to do.
Yes. simplification, automation where it matters. I mean, I don't think you can outsource relationship building at its core, but the things that you can simplify in your life, absolutely try to simplify.
Mhm. And so is that kind of what you put under that umbrella of marketing minimalism?
Yeah, the idea of marketing minimalism is looking at cutting out all the things that aren't actually leading to results in your business. I'm a very data-driven person, and so I don't want to be that person who shows up every day and posts every day just because I've been told that's what I need to do, or stressing about, I got to grow my followers, or my likes are down, or oh, the algorithm poo-pooed me. Like, who even cares? That's what I always tell people. I'm like, you're looking at the wrong metrics if you're obsessing over those things, because none of those things directly result in the profitability of your business. So I always ask people, like, what are you prioritizing? What are your actual success metrics? If it's about acquiring leads and customers, then who cares about any of that other stuff? Let's just look at, again, how do we build a repeatable sales system that allows people to go take that journey from stranger to buyer in the most efficient way possible?
Yeah, definitely. So it sounds like you've obviously worked with a wide range of clients, and you said, like, you kind of follow the data. And are there certain metrics that you see clients over and over, like they're trying to hit a certain income threshold? Like, what is that holy grail of what most people ask you to help them with?
Great question. I would say the biggest one that comes up over and over and over again is, how do I make my first 10K month, right? It's like this proverbial promised land, because 10K months are just like this huge milestone in your business, rightfully so, where you're really at that point on the track to becoming a six-figure business. And I think it's the first time where a lot of people feel like they are finally out of survival mode and really starting to take a leadership role in their business and looking at, okay, now what can this become? Now, how can I grow this? And so it's definitely a big deal. And I love, love, love helping people get to that point in their business. And so, I've worked with, at this point, hundreds of service providers. I primarily, service-based entrepreneurs, or anyone who works in a one-on-one capacity or a small group capacity with their clients or customers. So some direct sales, network marketers as well. But yeah, being able to get people to that 10K month is so exciting. I love it.
Yeah. And I'm guessing we have like a mix of all of those people probably here in the summit, but if I was a betting woman, I would say that they're probably all hoping to get to that 10K month. Like, I'm guessing everyone's on the other side of the screen going, yeah, yes, please. Right. So, what's the first step towards getting there? Like, how do you get to that 10K month?
I love this question because it's such a broad, it's such a broad question, right?
Question.
It's a big question, right? There's no I don't believe marketing is necessarily a one size fits all, but I believe that the foundations of sales do not change. It doesn't matter what industry you are in, whether, like, when I was in college working at a movie theater, me trying to sell someone on a large popcorn, large soda combo, right? Same concept as me trying to sell someone into my program, or me trying to close a, 5-figure client. I mean, there are different nuances to it, but the foundation of sales in a business does not change. And so I believe the best way to make a 10K month, we actually call it in my membership, the consistent clients cash flow system. And we basically take everyone through a foundations framework where they really get clear on their messaging and creating a powerful evergreen content strategy that sells for them so they don't have to post every day. And then we walk them through the 3-part system to actually build that really simple sales funnel, like I was talking about, to repeatedly attract the right people to them, drive that traffic, turn them into a lead, and then know actually how to close and understanding how to use sales psychology to close. So in a nutshell, that's what it is.
I love it. And it couldn't be more true. I say it all the time. It's the fundamental skill sets that are going to get you there.
100%.
That first 10K. Now, maybe between 10K and $1 million, it's less about the skill set. It's more about setting up like a repeatable structure, or maybe even a team, right? But in the beginning, yeah, it's the fundamental skills, and it's just nailing them, right?
100%. Yes. And I would almost say that from for like my business has like changed so much, over these 3 years. And I would say the biggest shift that I've seen personally from me moving from a 6-figure to a 7-figure business owner is actually mindset. That has been the number one game changer in my ability to grow to new levels. And so, yeah, I think that when you're at the beginning, a lot of that tactical stuff, you do need to build those solid foundations. But as you scale and as you grow, it almost becomes less about the tactics and more about your own limitations. It's all up here. Business is a mental game. It's like tennis. That's what I always tell people. Like, you can be the best tennis player in the world, but the reason people lose tennis matches is very rarely because they tire out. It's because their mind is weaker than their opponents, and they let it get to them. And then they become a self-fulfilling prophecy and, missing shots and strokes and like whatever.
Well, and learning to master your mind is a critical skill too. Like, you have to be the boss of your own thoughts.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes. It's so hard. It's so hard, but it's like, I cannot tell you how pivotal it is if you cannot take ownership of your thoughts and you let circumstances dictate your thoughts and your feelings. And therefore the actions that you take, your results will never quite align with what you want them to be.
Yeah, so true. So I understand you have a free gift for our viewers. Yes. Can you tell us about it?
Yes. So if you're intrigued by this whole concept of like marketing minimalism and building a repeatable system to make your first 10K month, I would love for you to tune in to my masterclass, How to Make Your First 10K Month Without a Large Audience or Posting Every Day. And it's like a 45-minute on-demand training. I know you guys are busy, so I want you guys to get insane value out of this. So if you go to ellenyin.com/class, you can just start watching right away. And we actually go over step-by-step the consistent clients cash flow system that I was just referencing. So if you want a deeper dive into that whole system, definitely go check out ellenyin.com/class.
Perfect. And just to make it super convenient for you guys, I believe right above this video is Ellen's bio and a button that'll take you directly to the website that she just shared with you. So be sure to grab her freebie. 45 minutes of free coaching and teaching. That's a huge amount of abundance for her to give to you guys. I'm sure it's an amazing gift. And in fact, I'm probably going to jump in there and cheer you on in there too. So,
oh my gosh, thank you. You're so sweet.
So be sure to grab the free gift. And then of course, jump over to the Facebook group, because after every interview, we're debriefing, we're talking it through. How are we going to take action? What are you going to add to your list to prepare for your quarter? And, what are you going to do with this gift that she gave? So be sure to join the conversation. We would love to hear from you there. We want to make sure that you're actually getting results coming out of the summit and not just entertainment. I mean, we try to be entertaining, but it's all about hoping to get you guys results. So thank you so much, Ellen, for joining us. It was awesome to talk with you and to hear about all these nuggets you had to share.
Thank you so much, Adrienne. Thank you guys for tuning in.
All right. See you guys in the next video. Bye.
You've been listening to the Impactful Entrepreneurs Show with Adrienne Hill, where we support coaches, course creators, and network and affiliate marketers to translate their big picture vision into actionable plans to build out their business efficiently. If you love our show, we invite you to visit buildalifebydesign.com to join the conversation, access the show notes, and discover more helpful resources. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, review, and share. Thank you for listening.